WCHL, chapelboro.com. Thanks for your time today. You're obviously no stranger to big games. You played in the college football playoff when you were at UW. What can you tell some of the players that are less experienced with that kind of stage, just how different the game is? Because the TCU game, week 1, national TV primetime, there's going to be a lot of people watching that game.
Yeah, the main thing I can tell the young guys is that it's just the same game. I mean, football is going to be football. No matter how big the stage is, I mean, you still got to go out there and play. So I would just tell the young guys, man, don't look at it no different than what it is. I mean, it's just another game. You got to go out there and perform.
Thad, your next question, left side of the room, will be just about in the middle.
Owen Hillman, WVFS Tallahassee. You're going into a system now which is being hired by Bill Belichick, which is he's coached several amazing quarterbacks, Hall of Fame quarterbacks. How is it being a part of that system in North Carolina?
It's special. It's been a lot of great cornerbacks that, Coach Belichick has coached, dudes like Ty Law, Darrell Reeves. So, to just try and be a part of that pedigree and, it's honestly special, man. It's something that I look forward to every day, just getting better every day. And, hopefully, my name can be with those guys' names.
Thad, stay on that row, just a couple of people down. Sir, if you'll please stand. Thank you.
Skip Foreman with the News and Record of Greensboro and the Winston-Salem Journal. What have you learned about yourself in this particular training session as it relates to an former NFL coach getting you to the point where you want to be? How much better do you think you got in this period of time?
Man, I've gotten a lot better. The main thing really is just my attention to detail. My attention to detail on little stuff, just taking everything serious as far as like stretching, taking care of my body, eating, lifting weights hard, stuff like that. Really just keying in on all the small details, propel my game to the next level.
Still on that same row.
Billy Ray Mitchell, Sunday, Saturday. You have to be answering a million questions about your coach and his personality, and there's a lot known about his personality, but can you tell me a little bit about the personality of the Tar Heels and of your team and what we can expect out of the Tar Heels this year?
Yeah, you can expect a tough, smart, dependable team, a team that communicates a lot, a team that's well put together, well driven, a team with a chip on their shoulder. Honestly, everybody got something to prove, everybody's trying to get somewhere, so that's what you can expect out of us.
That first row, just to your right.
Nathan Lauer with the Hill Brothers. Thaddeus, you're a guy that's played in some really big games in your career over there at UW, and now you bring all that experience over to North Carolina. Going into a DB room that has been listed as questionable over the last few years, what is your message to them on heightening the production and getting the best out of each player in that room?
It starts every day, just attacking each day, trying to go 1-0 every day. You can't make plays on Saturdays until you make plays in the offseason, working hard. So, I just tell guys, keep the main thing. Everybody strive every day, try and get better. And then on Saturdays, everything's going to take care of itself. It's football.
We're going to go back to the front row to the left this time.
Dan Tortora, wakeupcalldt.com. Just what it's like working with defensive coordinator Steve Belichick and what you've taken away from his leadership so far.
Man, I've taken a lot. I built a very close relationship with Coach Steve. He's been with me pretty much every step of the way, going back to last year when he first touched down at Washington. Being able to learn from a guy like that who has so much football knowledge, and so much knowledge of the game and scheme and stuff like that, I feel like it's really propelling my game to the next level as far as just understanding the game and other offensive coordinators and kind of just the ins and outs of the defense.
Thad, your last question will come to the right, hard right, fifth row.
Thomas Christopher from the League Winners. Can you talk about the importance of disrupting a receiver on their stem and what you're looking to do at the top of the route to turn some of those pass deflections into more turnovers this season?
Yeah, so, it's football. Offense, everything's about timing. So just being able to disrupt timing, it could be a slight, half a second. The quarterback's going to come off the read. So just being able to disrupt timing and, not really see some of the balls that I'm seeing. And then, the balls that I do see, we got to go intercept them.
Thad, thank you. You and Will can switch spots. You've got 5 minutes or so with our DB. Even if you've asked a question, please reintroduce yourselves to our student athletes. That would be great. We will go to first question. Will, to the right side, first row.
Nathan Lauer with the Hill brothers. Will, you've been on this team for a number of seasons now. You've seen the ups and downs. What is it for you as a guy who's been with this team for a while to see Bill Belichick come in and be your head coach, and how the aura of the team and the mindset of the team has changed over the last 7-8 months now?
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of new this year. I'm sort of excited for the new change, new spark, new energy that this season's bringing to the team, to the players in the team that stayed, but also just to the whole fan base and the community of Chapel Hill. I think everyone's looking forward to it. I'm no different. I know all the players on the team that were here last year are excited for this new change. When we got the news that Coach Belichick was going to be our new coach, we were all pumped for it. Shocked at first, but ready to get to work, and that's exactly what we've been doing.
Will, right side, about the 6th row, hard to the right.
Braden Blackwell, Observer News. We're obviously in this new era of college football where the transfer portal is ever prominent. UNC was one of the teams that was more active this year. So being a guy who stayed, what has been your role in keeping these guys, or getting these guys used to the life of Chapel Hill and getting them accustomed to Tar Heel culture?
Yeah, like you said, we've got a lot of new players on this team, and that's just because we brought in a ton of new guys that have a lot of talent. And so anytime there's change, it's good, especially in this day and age. And so as a leader on the team that's been here, it's sort of one of my roles to get everyone established, learn everyone's names, but also just learn everything about these guys and really create a team chemistry that can go win on Saturdays. It's hard to play successful football when you got a bunch of individuals out there playing for themselves. And so this summer and this fall, and our mindset is how can we, play successful, play fast, but play together so that we can, have success in the field.
Keep the attention right there, the gentleman right in front of him.
Brandon Bachers, the league winners, kind of building upon that. What's been your leadership style over the spring, over the summer, now heading into fall camp? And how are you getting the rest of your defensive unit ready to hit the ground running in the 2025 season?
Yeah, we've got a competitive group of guys, especially in the defensive back room. So everyone wants to, improve themselves and just build the unit. And so as a leader for that unit, it's been important for me to be an encourager. We have some hard days, maybe some days where we didn't practice as well as we wanted to, or some hard workouts that are tough to get through. And so being a guy that people can know that they'll get some encouragement from is important for me. I think leadership, it'll come in all shapes and sizes, but being someone that people can count on and can trust, that's important for me.
Will, left side, about the 6th row, center of the room.
Skip Foreman, News and Record of Greensboro with the Salem Journal. Defense was a spotlight for not the best of reasons last year. What have you learned in the time you've trained leading up to this season that would lead you to believe you're going to be a better defense in 2025?
Yeah, and new coaching staff with a great scheme and great new players, which is very exciting. But the thing about defense and football in general is you need all 11 playing on the same page. One guy messes up and an explosive can happen. So building that team chemistry and really holding each other accountable through practices and everything, that's important. That's on the top of our minds, playing all together, all 11. So that'll help us this year.
Will, we'll go back to the front row just to your left.
Will, Dan Tortora, wakeupcalldt.com. That development off the field from Bill Belichick and the coaching staff, just to speak to that. On the field, obviously there's a lot that's going to happen, but off the field, building into a stronger young man in society, just what you can say to that.
Yeah, Coach Belichick has brought in multiple guys, former players, to talk to us just about what else is there outside of just football. It takes a lot to be a great football player, and that's not just on the field stuff. That's nutrition, that's sleep, that is recovery. And so when you pour all this into football, man, anytime we're all going to end football at some point. And so how can you pour all that investment into something else? Whether you're a dad, whether you're a spouse, whatever it is, how can you pour everything into a relationship? And so we've learned that. He's brought in many guys, former players, to come and speak on that.
Will, thank you. You and Jordan can now trade places, and we will finish out our time with North Carolina with our wide receiver. Lots of hands in the air, so what we'll do is we will slide to the right, hard right, first row, right here in front of me, Jordan.
Jordan, what's up? QCB Fox Sports Radio Charlotte. I'm from Charlotte, so I know about your dad, Steve Shipp, and I just came one of the top receivers in the country. And I want to know what advice one piece of advice that stuck out with you that he gave you when you landed in Chapel Hill two years ago? And also, I know that your nickname growing up was Duke. And it's a Tar Heel right now. Is your nickname still Duke?
First, I just want to start off by giving praise and glory to my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. Without him, I wouldn't be here. So I just want to start off with that. And then he might call me that here and there, off the record, here and there. But like you said, man, the biggest advice that he gave me was, where would you go if you couldn't play football anymore? That was the biggest thing he said to me. It was like, where would you go if football was taken from you, you're comfortable with school, the distance plays into it, it's anything like that. And another thing that like drove me was just wanting to be better than him. I always grew up just kind of like in his shadows a little bit. And it was always like important to me to kind of like overcome that. So I feel like that's something that motivated me day in and day out. Just want to be better than him and just want to have my own man. Because a lot of times when people say Shipp, they're talking about my dad. But now I feel like I've kind of swapped that narrative and I've been able to kind of like put myself over and just being able to work hard, just try and like surpass him.
So Jordan, we'll stay on the right side, second row, please.
Jordan, Michael Coe, WCHL, ChapelBoro.com. During the offseason, Kobe Paysour initially entered the transfer portal, but he took his name back out and I was with you guys.
Yeah.
How big was it to retain him, not just from a skill perspective, but from a leadership perspective?
Yeah, we have a young receiver room. And Kobe brings experience. Kobe's a great player. Kobe's a great friend. I feel like that's something that gets overlooked. When you're in the role, you're just gonna be able to surround around great people. And Kobe's a great guy. Kobe's a great person. Kobe's somebody that I know I can rely on off the field and on the field as well. And I personally, Kobe, JJ, and Nate last year, they really took me under the wing and kind of like just helped me mold me into like the athlete, like the college athlete I wanted to be, and kind of like set the foundation for me. So just being able to still have him, you still be able to like look up to him and kind of shadow him a little bit is definitely important.
Left side, right in front of you, first row.
Joe Bombo, Athlon Sports. Jordan, you went from one Hall of Fame coach and Coach Greer down to Coach Belichick. What type of conversations have you had with Coach Greer about advice going on to Coach Belichick? And two, has there ever been any conversations about bringing your former quarterback in Jaden in Carolina Blue?
Definitely. I talk to Coach Greer a lot. Coach Greer is a huge reason why I'm here. Coach Greer poured into me, his family, Miss Nyla, Will Greer, all the Greers. They all poured into me a lot. So I talk to Coach a lot, and a lot of the conversations that I've had with Coach Greer in high school is kind of similar to what Coach Belichick brings. He wants to be tough, smart, dependable, and Coach Greer kind of echoed that same thing when we were in high school, and I feel like that's why we were so good at such a high level high school program, because of like the way he carried himself and the things that he poured into us, yeah, I just feel like Coach Greer is like a great coach, but then you look at Coach B and he just takes that to a whole nother level. You're going to be tough, smart, dependable, you're going to be disciplined, and we're going to do everything right. We're going to play to his standard, and that standard's not going to drop it off for nobody. If you can't obtain it, go ahead and get out the way, next guy up.
Jordan, right side, first row.
Nathan with the Hill Brothers. First off, Shipp, love the shoes, by the way, bro.
Appreciate it.
But also, I want to talk to you about Freddie Kitchens, a guy that was in the tight end room over the last couple of seasons. Now he comes over to offensive coordinator. Talk about some of the things that he's brought as a coordinator to you guys, and some of the strategies that he's got for you guys.
We're definitely going to be unique offense. Don't want to give too much out, but we're going to be unique. We're going to do a lot of different stuff, and we're going to get a lot of first downs. We're going to score a lot of points. And Coach Kidd, and like I said, with Coach Belichick, he kept me for a reason. So obviously he liked what he was doing. So there's no reason not to trust him 100%. But like I said, we're going to be unique. We're going to move the ball. We're going to do different things, different personnel, and a lot of different people.
North Carolina, thank you. Good luck this season, and enjoy the rest.